No, it didn't work too well. Do we have any viewers here? Stream aborted due to an error. Let's write for a moment. And I couldn't access the previous stream anymore with the same key. Just let me know if there's anybody here. It's not that cold anymore. That one says -25 only. Hello, Matti. So it said to me that the stream was aborted due to an error. Can I ask for a favor and post? Maybe you can post the new link to Twitter and other social media for this. It's a bit difficult now with the mobile only here and my hands frozen from adjusting with the phone and gimbal and so on. Damn it, that was really unfortunate. Thank you, Matti. And we will see how long it will last this time. I have this posted at least on Twitter and LinkedIn and the Kontaktie and Facebook's slow bicycle movement group and whatnot. Oh, damn it. It really sucks. Damn it. But yeah, well, can't help. Let's continue riding somewhere and see what we can find. I had some other plans, but I guess I'll have to make a quick improvisation about those now. So we are now riding in Karjasilta area, just small tiny residential streets. And as you see, we have some snow at least. It's wonderful and beautiful here. Now it's just me, we've got huge amount of 3 viewers. And at least somebody's riding their bike there. So maybe everybody who's watching can also post the new link to social media and maybe also to the comments of the previous stream, if that's possible. Now let's get away from this area. 5 viewers, wonderful. At least we're getting somebody back here and people are finding the new link. So yeah, hello to everybody who's watching. A new try. The previous stream was aborted due to an error, whatever it was. I have honestly no idea what happened. It just told me that the stream was aborted. Cheers. Damn it. One of the more narrow bicycle paths here. But still perfectly rideable. And beautiful with the sunshine. Thank you, Harry. Thank you so much. I'm happy to have you fellows there, so you can do some of my work. Let's go to Main road number 23 now. I am back, Rob. Indeed, I am back, and you are back too. I'm happy to see you here too. So yeah, the stream was aborted due to an error. Triadi, also good to have you here. So I don't know what happened. The app just told me that the stream was aborted due to an error, and that's it. And I couldn't access it anymore. It was nowhere to be found. So I had to create a new one. Well, knocking on the wood. Knock, 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 as you see maybe in the shadow. We'll see how long this one lasts. It's the first time you're here, Triadi. Wonderful that you could make it, and then we have these problems, so not always working as it should. Well, this is actually the first time the stream was aborted. Yeah, it says, Harry says it's only minus 27 in Liminka now, and it was minus 34 just 2 hours ago. Yeah, it's getting warm here. It's about minus 26, minus 27. And here we have some of the new projected lights installed. Damn it. So they are there in the projector underneath the light, and they would project the symbols of people walking and the bicycle here on the surface. So excuse me while I fiddle a bit with my gloves. Might be a bit shaky. Gloves are maybe the most crucial thing now with these mild temperatures. Rob is asking what part of the city am I in. I am now in, you can call this either Takalyötty or Karjasilta, and I'm going towards the city center, and I'm coming from the south along Lintulammen tie or Leevi Madetojan katu. Hello Tuukka, good to have you here too. No need to go out as Becca does the morning bike ride and one can follow at home. Wash hands. Yeah, remember that. 61 people cycled today. 62 now. Yeah, so Finland has just entered a partial lockdown, and there's some quite strict rules. You can still go out, you can still go to work, but any meetings above 6 persons are not allowed, and restaurants are closed and whatnot. You can still buy the takeaway food. It's minus 14 in Ylläs. Well, there's probably huge differences with the temperature whether you are at the top or at the bottom of Ylläs. So for those who don't know, Ylläs is a ski resort in Lapland, maybe 350 kilometers north of here. And Rob is asking what is the vaccine situation in Finland. I believe it's about 9 or 10% of the population has been vaccinated. Let's go here. This is one of the few places that we have to yield. Yeah, as you see, there's not too much snow on the surface anymore, and especially not here because this one is heated. Wonderful shadows. We have 11 viewers, as it tells me. Maybe somebody can confirm that, because at least during the previous stream the number didn't update anymore. Entering the city center now, we are in Etulyötty, and I believe this one is called Etulyötyn aukio. So the city center is not the best place for cycling. You can still get everywhere by bike, but it's not always the most comfortable paths, as it was really never designed properly for that. 11. Thank you Triadi and thank you Tuukka for confirming that. Now there's shitloads of bike paths here too, but they are oftentimes pretty much the same as sidewalks. And then there's some visibility problems with tight corners, and sometimes, yes, even in Finland, lots of people walking. Let's go here, and here you see where if it gets slippery, we might add tiny bit of gravel, but you don't need much of it. Maybe you can see it here. Just a few stones there and there. And none on the bike paths. A traffic light. Also, yeah, so as some people already did, some of the viewers already did, they reposted this new address for this new stream on social media, because I wasn't able to post it anywhere. So maybe if you didn't already, maybe you can share this new address for this new stream, as the previous one was cancelled, so that people can learn about the new address. Tuukka, I am using a gimbal, yes, but I am using an external microphone. How is the sound? How's the sound like? Oh, it's getting so warm here now. The sun really warms up things quickly. Hey. We have the right of way. So this one happens even in Oulu. Sound is loud and clear. I hope it's not too loud. I sometimes talk maybe a bit too loud. And that's not good for anybody. Let's continue this way. Damn cars. Well, I would even go as far as to say damn car drivers. At least that one was not probably an autonomous car. At least I hope so. Let's go here on this bike path. They've removed quite a bit of snow here, as you see. The forecast was saying that there shouldn't be any wind today, but there definitely is wind here. There's headwind now. Let's turn right from here. They're doing some snow transport over there. The gimbal started acting again. It's a bit tilted. Hope you don't mind. Okay, let's go. And see what we have here. Continue on the bike paths. Let's go this way. We've got one of Harry's favorite places here soon. called Sonnisaari. You can ask Harry about why Sonnisaari is one of his favorite places. Let's go this way. When it's Triadi is asking when it's windy and -24, do I feel cold? Well, not really. Depends, of course, if it's strong wind and if I'm not dressed properly, then of course. And Rob is saying that my pictures from Syöte were really beautiful. Thank you. I agree, it is a really beautiful place. I was actually hoping to catch some maintenance machinery in the works here, but they might be having a morning coffee break now, as it's about 9 a.m. Let's instead go somewhere else. Go this way. Yeah. Now it's quite different. Super Destrier, great to have you here too. So yeah, there are several different kind of areas here. For example, that island on the left, which is just totally different from what you saw just a moment ago. Just a moment ago there were some older narrow streets and smaller buildings. And it is actually, for example, these buildings on the right are really beautiful old storage houses, now converted to cafes and restaurants and souvenir shops and so on. But with the sun so bright and the shadows so bright, it's difficult to see them. Some of the bicycle route sign is over there. Stop here for a second. Bright and sunny. And people with just regular bikes, like that one. But yeah, it's not too many people now because of the COVID situation, and then again those who have been going to work are already there since it's 9 a.m. It's just nice and beautiful and chill and relaxed. Wonderful slow ride. Crossing this bridge now. So I've told it in some of my previous streams, this bridge was built in 1985 just for people walking and cycling. And we are now at the river delta, the river mouth of Oulujoki river, crossing a series of islands. Rob is asking how many daily cases in Oulu. You mean COVID? I don't actually know. I think it's something like between 0 and 10 or 0 and 20 maximum. So a total of daily new cases in Finland, the whole country, is few hundred. maybe 300, 400. Somebody can correct me, but I don't really know. I'm just pulling these numbers off the top of my head. Hello Markus, good to have you here too. It is indeed beautiful here, he's saying, and the route looks also working, functional. It's now 8:56, as you see here. 154 people cycled past this point today. 8:56. Thank you for cycling, it says there. And thank you for walking now. Thanks. Thanks for counting us. So also here you can see that there is not indeed much snow here. Many people are asking oftentimes when we have the hard-packed snow layer on top of the bicycle paths and so on. So what happens when it melts? Well, if this melts, nothing happens. There's like a millimeter of snow in some places, and over there on the left there's none at all. And a tiny amount of sand and natural gravel. How about we go to Pikisaari? Let's go this way. Beautiful. Harry is saying that those screen-based counters are equipped with heating system, so they should work just fine, at least up to -40. And at least now they were working perfectly. I've never heard or never seen any problems with them, even when it's cold, which it is not now, of course. Pikisaari is a beautiful place. It's an old industrial island. Used to have several sawmills, and ship owners would live here, and that yellow one over there with the tower used to be a ship owner's house. And would you look at that, how beautiful it is. Oh, we are up to 14 watchers. Thank you for letting me know that. And again, for any new viewers, I'm sorry the previous stream, the original one, aborted just after a few seconds due to an error. No idea what caused it. So I had to create a new one, and it might have been a bit difficult to find it because I wasn't able to post it about it anywhere. So that is the Oulu River. It's a bit frozen, you could say. Maybe we can go on to the river. How about that? Let's try. The microphone cable got stuck somewhere. Let's see if it's possible to go to the left from here. Might be a bit difficult. Not doing this one-handed. There we go. It's a bit sketchy. It's one hand and the gimbal, but this is beautiful. Let's see if we can go left from here. One might require two hands, so sorry for any shake. That was rideable. Wow, the gimbal didn't like that. How's that? Let's try to make the gimbal work again. No? Does it work now? Yes. Seems to work. So we are now cycling on top of a frozen river on some very narrow footpath. And Markus is saying that we had 22 new cases yesterday in Oulu. And yeah, as Harry is saying, this is single track bliss. Indeed. Let's stop here for a second. As you see, it is ice and ice cracks. Isn't it beautiful? The birds are singing. You probably can't hear that. Over there in those trees. Oh, and the sound under the footsteps of the cold snow. It's lovely. Yeah. Now maybe let's continue somewhere. I have no idea where this path will take me and if it will be rideable or not. We'll try. It's a bit tricky again to get moving with the gimbal. I really need to get a holster or something where I can just stick this gimbal if I need my two hands. Riding again. It is really beautiful, as Triadi is saying. And Rob is telling that there is about 120 new cases a day in Vancouver and there is no lockdown. Damn, oh fuck, sorry. Again the microphone cable got jammed somewhere. That's why the picture jumped. Damn it, these piers always making cycling difficult. So these buildings over here, I believe they are old industrial buildings in this island of Tikisaari. And we are up to 16 viewers now. And for anybody joining, we are now cycling on top of a frozen river, Oulu River. It's a bit sketchy here. Of course, this is not any kind of an official path, and as you may maybe see from the shadow of mine that I'm riding single-handedly and holding my gimbal. It's a bit shaky also. I have no idea where this path will take me. Probably it will follow along the shoreline of this island. The ice is cracking. You can see see the ice cracks every now and then. There's more of those old industrial buildings over there on the right. And I believe they've got a school for handicrafts there. So, how about others? How is the COVID situation in your city? So, as we were speaking earlier, it's not too bad here in Oulu, of course. Every new case is a bad thing. But as Markus was saying, there were 22 new cases in Oulu recorded yesterday. Bumpy, 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 bumpy. So, we had quite a bit of new snowfall. Help me. This is difficult now. We had quite a bit of snowfall and winds last week, or during the weekend, I can't even remember. And the wind's been drifting a lot. So, for example, here, not too many people have yet packed down the snow. So it's really uneven and bumpy, and especially with the single speed upright bike like this, it can be a bit difficult at times. Excuses, yeah, I know. Whoa! Careful there with the ice cracks. Tuomas, it's good to have you here also. Were you in the previous one? And it's saying that in Helsinki it's quote mark bad, quote mark, but recently moved from the US, so it's all relative. And he's happy that they are managing it before it gets out of control. And Triad is saying that in their city of 5 million there's only about 15 recorded cases per day. Where is that? Which city is that? And Harry is saying that we should all try single-handed riding on snowy single tracks. That's not too easy. Well, especially not with the gearing of 52 in the front and 21 in the rear with this upright bike. It's Singapore with that city of 5 million cases. No, 5 million cases. I'm sorry. 5 million people and only about 15 cases today. If those numbers are true, that's really amazing. And Harry is asking me to go check if there's ice fissures on the other side of the island. Let's go and check. This looks bad. No, I'm not a chance I'm going to ride through that one. As you see, somebody else has been pushing their bike here too. Let's see how it go now. Yeah, there could be people swimming here too. Theoretically possible. But not in this part, I don't think so. And then now as we're on a better path, would you look at that, by the way, it's so beautiful. The sun reflecting from the frosty branches of those birches. Let's see if it's rideable here now. It's an uphill start. Trying to get. It's too much on uphill. And we're back on the bike path. Hey there. How's it going? And now the gimbal is acting up again. It's not turning. Would you? Yeah. There we go now. And for some reason the gimbal is acting really weird now. For some reason, maybe the weather. A lovely temperature. And yeah, the gimbal is not moving too much now. Interesting. I don't see any people ice fishing here. I've even seen people ice fishing like over here on this ice that you see in the front. Interesting. Interesting what's happening with the gimbal now. Let's see if it works now. Yeah. Now it turns again. So for some reason the gimbal was jammed a bit. It could be that I was actually accidentally pressing some buttons myself. So do not blame DJI for that. Let's get riding. And Rob is saying that he loves to hear the squeak of snow, reminding of him growing up in eastern Canada. I love that sound too. Beautiful. And somebody said that there is no wind today. But if you look at that, I might disagree a bit. That's also, it's hypnotic. The reflections on my phone screen are actually quite strong. But with the reflections it looks like I could even be watching towards the sky. Whereas I'm looking at the river. I don't see any swimmers here though. So when you see the smoke over there, no wind, yeah sure. But at least the wind is not too strong. It is beautiful, as Rob is saying too. This bridge was built in 1995 to connect these two islands, only for people walking and cycling. If you want to use a car, you need to take a detour around the river delta from over there somewhere. It's much longer. And it's also so lovely that we've got still these temperatures even in March. But weather forecast is promising us some dramatic changes. It might even go to +2 Celsius this week, which is confusing, really. So beautiful over there, with all this fog or the steam rising up from the cold water. Oh, we've had some horses here also. As you can see from that. Some boats. So what is normal temperature this time of the March, is Rob asking. Well, it could be like this. This is still not completely unnormal, but usually I would say it's between +2 and -15 maybe. Usually March is really beautiful winter month as well, and sometimes even most of April is too. I believe the all-time record low for Finland in March is -44, but that was a while ago. And would you look at the trees with the frost? I could watch those for hours. Here on the left you can see an old railway bridge. There used to be an industrial railway connecting the harbor of this island to the rest of the network, but now that bridge is a bicycle path. Let's turn to right from here. That was a lovely on my feet. Wonderful Dutch style single speed bike. At least I presume it was single speed. So, what are the temperatures where you are watching? Inside or outside? Beautiful. I would need sunglasses soon. +12 today in Vancouver. Oh man, that's hot. I hope we don't get those temperatures anytime soon. And now let's stop here for a second. And as you can see here, the snow has been pushed further away, right here. So there's no bike path here. The bike path edge, the asphalt edge, is right about here where my front tire is. So in preparation for the springtime, we are pushing the snow further away so that when it melts, it will go that way and not onto the bike path, because during the spring season it could be like +5 during the day and -5 at night. So if the snow melts and goes to the bike path and then freezes during the night, it would create horrible conditions. And that can still happen in places, but in many places, wherever it's possible, we are trying to design and plan for the space of the snow and plan for the drainage so that the melting snow does not go and come onto the bike path, not onto the surface where people are walking and cycling. And now, just a moment, I need to mute my mic for a second. I'll be back shortly. I'm back again, and the sun is warming up so nicely here. And let's... Hello. Quite some frost, but not too much. I don't even know it myself. It's difficult to see with the sunlight. And that's enough of me. There we go. Did we? No. Yeah. Now it's better. It's +34 in Singapore. You know, +34 Celsius, Triadi. That's exactly the same temperature as is the all-time record of Oulu. That is a horrible temperature, at least for me. Putting on my gloves back. And Matti is saying it's minus 15 to minus 17 in Tampere. Have they closed any schools in Tampere because of that weather? Or have they closed any bike paths? And Triadi is also saying he loves how Oulu is built for people and cyclists, and in Singapore City it's built for public transportation. Yeah, out of focus, I see that. Let's see if we can do something about it. Yeah. The focus should be better now. Is it? Please confirm. It's difficult to see the screen with the sunlight. Yes, wonderful. Let's continue. The stream's been going on now for 46 minutes, and including the previous try, that was maybe 1 minute or something, I don't even remember. The battery's been holding up quite well. It's really getting warmer here now. Going fast. I believe the forecast for the afternoon was only minus 12, and considering that at night it went down to minus 30, and the surroundings of Oulu even to minus 35 just a few hours ago. That's some dramatic changes in temperature. And when temperatures change that fast, it can cause damage to property and especially the water pipes. But luckily there is quite a bit of snow here that is acting as insulation and smoothing the temperatures. As Matti is saying, they are used to crappy bike paths and they don't close schools for weather. We do not either, we only close them for COVID. Well, and at least now they are not closed. But we have the annual skiing holiday going on right now. So it's also a bit quiet because of that. So people are still traveling to ski resorts for the winter holidays. And Rob is saying plus 12 is pretty nice for cycling, almost shorts weather. Well, I have to agree with that. If it suddenly would be plus 12 now, I would probably be just using my shorts and that's it. This is beautiful. So beautiful. I have to stop here once again and look at those trees. And the birds are singing. Damn it, I hope that you could actually hear the birds singing. I'm sure you can't, but trust me, it's beautiful. Everything's so beautiful here today. Both visually and, how do you say, audibly. Rob is saying that transition to shorts is like getting an extra 100 watts of power. It must be. But if I would just take off my trousers now and just transition to shorts now in this weather, I might indeed just have to die or something. I don't know. You actually hear the birds singing there. That's wonderful. How amazing is that you can actually hear that? So wonderful. I can hear them now even too as I'm riding here. some lovely street art over there with Alice Cooper and air guitar players and Michael Monroe also. Now maybe we can take a new try to see if the maintenance crew is there now. Or maybe they've just finished and have gone to completely different places. Let's go this way again. And this bike is still here and chained to the guardrail of the bridge. And I think it was there during my previous stream or the previous or even the previous. Can't remember which one it was. So now a new try if we can go now on. If we can now cross this bridge. Last time when I was crossing this bridge, as you might remember, I had to turn back and go cycle on the frozen river because it was so beautiful over there. That's where we went just a moment ago. And now let's continue this way, not letting anything to stop me. Not too many people cycling or walking here today. This counter says 26 people walking and 74 cycling. And these huge concrete silos are the city theater over there, and on the left there's the main library. Now let's go back here and see if the maintenance crew is here. Riyadh is saying that they saw that bridge in a different video in summer. Yes, it's also really beautiful in the summertime. So much new infrastructure, impressive. That's what Rob is saying. Well, Oulu used to be quite a small city until 1950s, 1960s, when it started growing rapidly. And at the same time, we had the most intense time of automobilization. Let's go this way now, so it's not always the same path. And luckily, there in the 1960s, when the city started growing rapidly, we also hired our first traffic engineers, and luckily they chose a guy who understood the importance of walking and cycling. So it was possible to build the outskirts of the city at least, and the suburbs at that time, bicycle friendly. So for example, this area used to be a sports field in 1990s still, I think. At least 1980s. Now I got some error message saying something about USB ports. I hope it doesn't affect too much. There we go. We have the machines over there. Let's go and see them. So you see, this surface has just been scraped down. Yevgeny, hi, nice to have you here. Yes, he's asking if we are moving snow from the city center to the outside of the city. Yes, we are doing that. And we can see if they are doing it right now here. No, not now. So here you see some heavy duty machinery on work. A motor grader or tiehöylä in Finnish, as we say. These are amazing machines for scraping everything down. As you see, these streets here are quite narrow, so there's not too much space for snow. So whatever snow they are scraping up from the surface, they need to transport it away. So that is pieces of hard packed snow, or more like ice now. Can you still hear my voice? The sound or the noise of the machine is very strong. There they are pushing the snow, and let's stop here and have a look at this. Fingers. Must not be easy to navigate those machines. On these tiny streets. Tight spot there. And Tuomas is asking if there's a lot of localized flooding of paths in Oulu when the snow starts to melt. No, I wouldn't say there's a lot. There is a couple of problem spots which the maintenance crew, they usually know of them, and they try to like preemptively try to clear the snow and take the snow away from there if possible, and open the sewers and so on, take care of the drainage. But still, sometimes some problems do occur. Needed to warm up my fingers a bit. Holding the gimbal with that, just this kind of glove, basic gloves, it's not always too warm. So there's the other wheel loader. And there's another one of those machines. Let's go and see that one too. So usually there is also quite a bit of on-street parking here on these tiny streets. And that's not easy for the maintenance crew. So I heard that they put on some signs here to tell people to move the cars away from here, and most people apparently have done that. You see here's a folding plow. This. And the other machine here. Oops. Again the cable gets jammed. Further away. It's a bit difficult to move here with this bike. Just park the bike here for a second. If I can. And move here a bit without the bike. The gimbal doesn't want to work. Yeah. There we go. So here you can see the difference on the surface. This one has just been scraped. It's a little bit of loose snow or crushed ice. Like this. And then they use the wheel loaders to push the extra away. And here you see an untreated surface that they are treating over there in the distance right now. And the lovely bike. Yeah. Let's take the bike and go somewhere. And again the cable gets jammed. Fucking hell. Things are not going too smooth for me today. Oh, there they are coming again. The other side. It actually says not for sale in the front plow. As you can see, the other wheel loaders are cleaning away some of the snow that they push to the private yards. Good service. I think we've seen enough of that. and I have no idea if you were able to hear that, what I was saying, because of all that machine noise. Let's go to somewhere more peaceful. There's a skating track there. That is actually a traffic park for kids, where they can learn the traffic rules and so on, and in the winter time they make a skating track there. And then some playgrounds, and behind there there's a pump track. Continue this way. I haven't seen any new messages in the chat in a couple of minutes. Just would like to make sure it's working, so can you please type something in the chat, like if you're still here and not fallen asleep, or maybe somebody can check what is the temperature now in Oulu. Oh, Thomas is at least still there, so at least the thing works, and at least somebody is watching here. Had some polite car drivers there, giving me the way even though they were not supposed to. Not always a fan of that, but got to appreciate the friendliness of them. So Thomas, how many viewers does YouTube tell you that we have now? Oh, and we have also Triadi here, and Yevgeny is there, and Matti is there, saying Oulu -22. So it's getting warmer and warmer. Yes, Rob, I did mention sprawl in the 60s. Can we build new detached houses in Oulu? So yeah, well, the most sprawl has happened after the 60s actually, and it still happens as of now. And most people, I would say, live in single family houses. Way too many. Then again, those neighborhoods are completely different suburbs in a sense than those in US and Canada. In some sense they are similar. Lots of people have 2 cars, some maybe even 3, and use them way too much. But still, most of those residential areas have their local small supermarkets, and there's a lot of bike paths and local schools and so on, and it's easy and safe for kids to go to school by bike or by foot or by ski or kick sled or whatever they want to use. And in many of those even new residential areas there are mixed use, so there are both mid-rises, maybe some high-rises and row houses and smaller individual homes as well. 17 watching, so it's just 17 for me also. And why I was asking about the number is that during the last live stream the numbers didn't match, so it didn't update for me at all. So I needed to ask it from the chat how many people are watching. But now it seems to work. Says 17 for me as well. And Tefe T is here too. Wonderful to have you here. So yeah, we do not restrict single family house building too much. We could, in my opinion, but it's also a bit tricky because if you restrict it too much, some people will want to have that kind of houses anyway, and then they will just move further away to other municipalities, maybe. But there is also a lot of new developments like those buildings over there. They are new residential buildings. Let's go into the shadow so you can maybe even see them. It used to be all industrial there. And like this whole area here, this is maybe one of the most bicycle unfriendly places in Oulu, right next to the city downtown. Lots of commerce, lots of big box stores and hypermarkets, lots of cars, lots of motor traffic machines and so on. And still it's cyclable, totally cyclable. And Yevgeny is asking if we have wind farms nearby. I think the closest ones are in Oulunsalo, just across the gulf. So maybe as the crow flies, maybe less than 10 kilometers from here. There's a couple of them. I wouldn't really call that a farm. And the bigger farms, maybe 50 kilometers from here. That is a truck for transporting snow, but they have emptied it recently. So let us go here, this way. Let's see when it's gonna change. There we go. This way. A little bit of loose snow there, maybe from wind drifts. Car retailers. Oh. If you want to buy a new electric car, or gasoline or diesel or a pickup truck, you can do that here, unfortunately. Changed. Let's continue this way. Oh, there they are transporting snow. That is stupid, as that costs so much money. That burns fossil energy, and this is basically a transporting air. Most of snow is air, even though it's quite compacted snow when you transport it in like that. But still, with proper planning, you wouldn't have to transport that much snow, not even close to that much, if you just planned enough space for the snow locally so that you could just transfer it locally. Okay. Need to focus a bit. So as not to crash into anybody. Yeah. So yeah, let's continue this way. And yeah, as I was saying about planning for snow space, all the properties, all the streets and so on should be designed so that you have enough space for snow to be stored locally. Yeah, sure, that requires some space, but you can also use some parking spaces for that, or some green areas. And yeah, some people might argue that it adds to sprawl, but you don't need that much of space. Triadi is asking if there's still German war bunkers in the Oulu from 1940s. Now we have at least an old German fire station, and from old maps I've seen places where they used to have ammunition storage buildings. I don't think those exist anymore, so there's not much of that left, at least. Rob is saying it's almost midnight there. Oh, I believe it. And I don't think we have too much battery left here either, so I will have to stop soon anyway. As to me, it seems like the video is starting to interrupt, which is a pity because I'm almost at the place I wanted to show to you. Well, let's check what it says about the battery. No, we've still got 24% of battery left, so it should be fine. But anyway, how is the video quality to you? Seems to me that the frame rate is dropping. Which indeed is a pity. I'm surprised that we still have 24% of battery left in the phone, but it shouldn't start affecting the frame rate until it goes down to 5%. Yeah, something wrong with the frame rate indeed. So I don't think there's too much I can do to help. But on the left you see a snowfill, not a landfill, but a snowfill. That's where they are dumping the snow. What do you think? Is the video still viewable? Can you watch it? It's irritating, at least to me, to see that the frame rate is so low. So yeah, that is a huge place, an open field over there for snow. There in the distance, you can maybe see in the center of the frame there's somebody now dumping the snow. It is viewable, okay, good to hear that. And they've got some machines over there working with the snow. I've changed the camera, telephoto. No, the telephoto camera doesn't. Does this one work? No. I still need the wide angle, so that one actually works. So the snow dump site, will it flood in the spring? Triadi is asking. Well, basically it won't flood because it's designed to how do you say it? It's designed so that the snow will melt over there gradually and has good drainage, and probably it also has filters or something to treat the melting water. I'm not sure about that, so I have to admit that. It's too bad that I can't really go there now. Still continue a bit further while I still have some battery. Is the frame rate better now? Looks better to me now. Looks quite smooth. So hopefully it was just a temporary issue. There's big logistics areas here close to the port of Oulu harbor. Let's go this way, so maybe we can get some kind of another kind of view of the snow dump site. There it is. Quite a bit of snow there now, indeed. There in the distance. It's too bad that the other cameras don't work. It would have been nice use for a telephoto lens now. Fiddling a bit again with my gloves, and let's continue. Damn it, I really need to get like a wireless microphone. I don't know about the quality, but here you can see some serious snowdrift. Look at that. The path is still perfectly rideable, but it's, well, is it? Wow! In the front, it might not be too good actually. No, this is interesting. There's been some serious wind here, drifting away all the snow. No, this is not too good. Still rideable so far. Wow. I don't need to let the machinery, not the maintenance department know about this. Then again, I'm actually not sure if this part belongs to the city or if it belongs to the state. Might be the city's responsibility still, but I know that this road, at least further ahead, it will be a state road, or it is a state road a bit further away, and any bike paths which are next to a state road also belong to the state instead of the city. So that might be the case. And well, the state is also doing quite an okay job in cleaning the bike paths, but they are not as good as the city. And Matti is saying that he thinks that quite a big bit of those snow piles will just sublime. Yeah, probably so. It's again getting so bright with the sun that it's difficult for me to see. I would really need my sunglasses. And on the right hand side you can see the frozen sea. If we have enough battery left, we can maybe go and ride on the frozen sea, hopefully. Now that we are sheltered from the wind, as you see, there's no snowdrift, and the path surface is so much better. Yeah, in those open areas, wind with fresh snow can be an issue. So even though if the snowfall is already over, no new snow coming from the sky, the wind could still transport fresh snow from open areas and block paths. So let's take a right turn and go see what we have here. No cars here. So we are entering the frozen sea. There's currently been some problems with people driving their cars on this path over there in the distance where they are not supposed to do that. And previously, because of warmer weather, there was some water on top of the ice, and some idiots used their cars still and damaged the trail that was intended only for people walking, skating, skiing, kick sledding and cycling. So now they've blocked the path with snow. But now we are cycling on the frozen sea on an ice trail. This one actually is meant for cars, and the one on the left is for non-motorized things. It's a bit bumpy here now. As you cannot use too heavy machinery on ice naturally. So sometimes the light machinery doesn't have enough weight or power to make the path smooth. Bumpy, bumpy, bumpy and icy. As you see here, there's been water here. It's frozen now. It's a bit slippery to ride with one hand only. Whoa. This is really slippery now with some really fresh snow on top of just ice. Whoa. So you can imagine when that one was melted, it was not a good place to go with your car. Luka, hei! Hyvää huomenta sinnekin. So yeah, like Thomas is saying, maintain trails on the open sea. Not too well maintained though. But yeah, the conditions have been really difficult, and it's volunteers who are doing this maintenance here. And here it says 40 kilometers speed limit on the ice road. Starting to interrupt, the frame rate is dropping again. Let's see. I'll try to do the quick trick with changing the cameras again. The sun is really really shining brightly. That's fun. And focus. And let's see about the frame. Yes, indeed. We are going to die soon. We are all going to die. We've got 4% of battery left. So everything seems to be stuck. So it might be time to call quits. Aren't my fans freezing? Yes, they are. Still working. But that is maybe the biggest issue with shooting these videos. Your hands freezing. Yeah, I am using gloves usually, but now when I have to adjust the gimbal or change focus or the camera or so on, I need to take off my gloves, and that's a bit chill indeed. Anyway, we've got what? Still 4% of battery left, and the streams lasted more than 1.5 hours in these temperatures. So I think that's pretty impressive, even with all these problems that we had, like the first stream suddenly abruptly stopping, and us having to create a new stream, and most people not knowing the new address. Thanks everybody who was spreading the new address and letting people know that. So thank you everybody. It's been a wonderful ride. I think I'm still going to ride a bit and enjoy this wonderful, beautiful weather that we have here. So if you liked it, please like and comment also on the comments, and not only the chat. Subscribe and share and all of those regular things, the cliches that you know. And this chat replay should be available for replay in a few hours or in 24 hours or so on. Anyway, thank you everybody, and have a wonderful night or day or whatever you have. Thanks.